Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough of Commissioned with the Call expansion, which is the first big box expansion for Commissioned. The Commissioned base game is a cooperative game for 1 to 6 players, in which you are going to be playing apostles of the early church after the death of Christ in about in the 30s AD, Anno Domini. And throughout that early time period, the church is spreading throughout the land. So then here are your church members, and what you're trying to do is you are trying to spread the church throughout all of these cities. In the basic scenario, you will win when you have a cube or more in all of these cities. So think about Pandemic, but in reverse, because the cubes here are good. You are going to be powered by some deck building, very simple deck building, and there's going to be a trial deck that will get in your way. That is in the base game. The expansion, which is called The Call, adds a couple of things. It adds some more scenarios. It adds a solo play version, which I'll be playing the solo play module for you today. And also, perhaps most in terms of game mechanism import, it will be adding a wrinkle to the deck building called chains. These are bad, and you will have to deal with them throughout. So it definitely raises the strategic choices and raises the overall difficulty of Commissioned. I am very happy to bring you this solo playthrough as we come to the eve of Christmas. This is the One Stop Co-op Shop. We are a gaming empire. We are a Discord channel. Our community is there. We love to have you. It's completely free for anyone who wants to come along. You're on the YouTube channel. We also have a YouTube streamed channel. So please join us there. Subscribe, like videos on both of those channels. Check out our podcast. Twice a week, we have game-focused content on Sundays, and on Wednesdays, we have open-ended discussion all around gaming. So we have so much to offer you if you want to become a part of our community. We would definitely like to have you, especially if you are into solo and cooperative games, because we are your one-stop for all of that. All right, so before we get into the elements that The Call added to Commissioned, I'd like to go over very briefly what the base game is doing so that some of those elements make a little bit more sense. So, in Commissioned, every player will have a player board and a personal deck that is tuned to their character. Over the course of the rounds, each player is going to be playing cards down on this player board, and then making collective decisions about how to implement those cards to do stuff on the board. So most of the cards involve movement, so then we are going to spread out depending on how much movement we have and how many actions we can take throughout the land. So then we are also going to be overcoming obstacles. The obstacles here are ways that the board tries to stop us from moving, and so much stuff from the trial deck. The church will grow on its own. It will add members. And your goal, as I said, is to bring Christianity to all the land, represented by each city represented or having a cube on it before the end of the game. Which, by the way, is the end of the trial deck, which is the main source of nastiness in Commissioned. Commissioned, the base game, had a deck building mechanism. So in the base game, all of this would be face down. So you would actually not see a market, and you would deck build to improve your personal deck, kind of just, draw and see what you get. In Commissioned, The Call, they have allowed players to see what your options are, so you can deck build a little bit more effectively and tune your strategy to what you want to do a little bit more effectively with some face-up cards. Also, as a part of The Call, these are some scenarios that came with the base game. You get 2 more scenarios that are a little bit more involved. They add special tokens on the board, and they change the geometry of the board somewhat. So it is the same basic game, going to be able to play differently, spreading the church or healing divisions, different things like that. But for the most part, I'm going to focus on the basic game, which is spread the cubes all over the land. All right. So then I am also going to show you these 2 new players. The game is very aware that there were no women amongst the original 12 apostles of Jesus. However, it does give playable characters, Priscilla and Phoebe. so that you can enjoy different parts of the Bible, because they were in the original Bible doing traditional roles, and those roles are represented in the way their decks play out. The Call also adds a special solo specific module. This is the Ethiopian eunuch encountered by Philip in the scriptures, who spread Judaism or Christianity, however you want to call that, down to Ethiopia alone, or by himself, but never alone. So there are solo specific rules. Really, the solo play changes in two specific ways. One, your starting deck is different. In a regular commission multiplayer, these would be very specific decks, but in solo mode, you actually can pick from the different decks. So you have Phoebe, Andrew, Priscilla. You can kind of construct your initial deck to go along with your starting scriptures. So that's actually pretty cool, because it adds a lot of flexibility very early on. And also, what's going to happen is this elder staff is going to be key to certain regions depending on who is where and where your major pieces are, these missionary pieces. So the trial deck normally affects the main character, which you're only the main character, so you don't want to get trialed to death. So there's going to be a mechanism that is going to allow the trial deck to affect different people at different times. So let's say I have a missionary here in red, then I would put a cube here, and from turn to turn this would rotate depending on where the apostles are. So you have a little bit of relief, at least for your main piece, but the trials are going to be distributed everywhere, and you have to kind of respond to the board. One final wrinkle for the solo mode. This was a die that you rolled every turn in multiplayer that kind of did different things on the board, very minor effects. Here, the effects have been reworked to be a little bit more impactful. So you can get a mission stop or a growth stop, or good stuff can happen. It all depends on what you roll. So lots of little things to beef up the solo so that you can play solo commissioned effectively. And so the last piece, the most mechanically impactful piece of Commission the Call, is the Chains deck. So you get a few of these, and they do basically the same thing, but there's some wrinkles depending on the card you get, and they're nasty. If you play them, you lose up to 4 church members at the player's location. All the chains do that. Different ones will add different stops. This one in particular will add a fellowship stop for each member you could not lose. So those are new. These kind of eat members as they come up. So you end the round and it's going to kind of take one member away. You also have your usual mission stops and growth stops. So they're bad. If you don't play them and you decide to take them into your buy phase, then they're worth -4 faith, which is the currency of the game, and you have to discard them into your deck. So it really is not advantageous to keep these until your buy phase. So then, though, you can get rid of these in a number of different ways. As you play them and you absorb the bad effect, then they'll go away and go back into the Chains deck. So it's kind of like, absorb it once. So there's probably, given the choice, you're going to want to play it depending on how your board is going, but playing it is okay. There are a number of cards that get rid of the Chains as well. And the main way, though, in multiplayer that you're going to want to try to deal with these is through the Restore deck. So when you reach the buy phase, so you're going to have your action phase, and then at the end of that set of rounds, you're going to go into your buy phase. If one player has a chain, then another player who does not have a chain can forego their buy phase, what the game calls the mature phase. But they can forego their buy phase and instead draw one card from the Restore deck. So the Restore deck is like a little story. So it's going to read a story and then give the person with the chain a choice. So now remember, the person without the chain with the chain does not see this. It's only the person without the chain that's trying to heal the person that can see this. So as an example, I just asked your help on a critical church effort. You think to yourself, why are they asking me to do something else? You already have so much going on. Do you tell me you aren't available to help, or ask me which other thing you should do, you should stop doing? So then it's almost like a scenario in the early church, and it's giving you the choice, and it's going to give you some effects depending on what you choose. pretty important to note that the effects are not all the same. It's almost like there's a right answer and a wrong answer. So depending on how well you are immersed in the world, you'll be able to answer, and then you would follow whatever the rewards are. The giver of the card will have a reward, and also the person receiving the blessing will get a reward, discard their chain, get extra cards, that kind of thing. So the trial deck will add chained cards to your hands. All sorts of other stuff can add chain cards, and there's ways to get rid of it as well. In solo, there is no restore deck. You're relying on those cards, and also in this chart over here, if you roll an 8, you can get rid of a chain as well. All right, so we're ready to begin a solo playthrough, as you can see, of Commissioned. I have constructed my deck of 9 cards using the Chains module, and I start the game with a chain. The one that applies Fellowship Stops. Fellowship Stops are pretty nasty if you don't deal with them properly. So then the rest of the cards I have pulled from the other decks. So I have cards from John, Andrew, James, also Phoebe and Priscilla. Phoebe adds or takes away a Fellowship Stop, so that's pretty good. And also Priscilla blocks chains from happening and has another little effect that'll come up later. So I'll shuffle these up and begin. All right, so I have drawn my opening hand of 4 cards. I got my Priscilla card and the chain if I wanted to play those together, and my Bible cards. So we'll see if I'll need those. Let's go ahead and apply the trial. Indoor trials. There you go. Growth stop and a mission stop. Nice, easy, classic card. And also I have to roll my message die. The message die is an 8. What? You saw it? 8. Discard, draw the top faith card and discard your chain without effect. You saw it, people. I do not get a chain this round. Believe me, that will not continue. Oh boy, that was awesome. All right, so now I have a little bit of a choice. My options are actually really limited because of that stupid mission stop. Otherwise, I'll be flying to the moon with this hand. So I can't do that. So I can either save these to get a really powerful card or put these in this row. So one of the victory conditions in Commissioned, no matter what the mode is, you have to put these scripture cards and kind of collect the Bible along here. It's a little bit too early. These cards are a little bit too powerful, and they're good for their money. So unfortunately, I don't have anything that I can do. But getting that 8 kind of made up for it. So then I am going to use these 2 cards, apply them with basically no effect, and then discard them. Oh, just so you know, the Priscilla card, I would, in the last share before mature, which is now, and every round in solo, let all players choose the 2 highest face cards from their discard to mature. So then I would draw 2 cards from my discard pile. I would discard 2 cards in my hand, and then I would, basically kind of improve my odds of buying stuff. But there's nothing to discard right now. Play that, it goes away, and I'm going to have these 2 cards for the mature phase. All right, so no growth, no mission stop. In solo, I only draw the 4 cards. There's only 1 live phase before mature, which is the deck building aspect, and I have 4 money. And I love this card. You can really fly through your deck this way. Unexpected gift. Elder may select 2 cards in play during a share action in place of this 1 card. I'll play 3 cards total. That's great. In solo, you can draw cards. In multiplayer, there'd be cards around the table that you could pick from. In solo, I'll draw the cards. So it lets me get through my hand a little bit faster. Love that. All right, next round, some basic cards. Go ahead and pull from the trial deck. The trial says Gnostic Heresy. -1 book from this row collected. If I don't have that, then I put on a candle. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that on there off camera. You'll see that when I zoom back out. So that's not bad. So there's only 1 of those in the deck, of the trial deck. And it means I can pretty much safely put books away once I get started doing that. Can't do that this turn, though. So let me go ahead and roll. A 4. What does a 4 do? A 4 is a grow stop. Wow, that's actually pretty good. There's already a grow stop there, so I'll collect my second grow stop. I'll show you why that is not a problem in just a second. But let me go ahead and play the John card and this remove mission stop from Paul. So then you're going to see that I've removed the mission stop, and also I'm going to call 2 cards. So I am going to call James and Priscilla. These are not, basic cards. They're very useful, but I have those effects or most of those effects already in my deck with the 2-cost cards. So being able to access those 2-cost cards faster will be very, very good. Going to go ahead and remove that mission stop. Growth stop, you can do your thing. I get 2 moves. So I am going to do 2 mission moves. If you're not familiar with the basic game, mission moves are pretty easy. If you have a church with 4 more members, which is plenty, it's my whole church. And here I am in Jerusalem. So I'm going to move a missionary and 2 church members up to Jericho. And then I'm going to move the rest of my merry band down here to Caesarea. So then I'm going to, this church is not going to grow. That's okay. Don't need it to grow. So then I am going to grow here. Any church with 3 or more members is going to grow by 1, spreading the word of God. And we are on our way, finally, after a little bit of a hiccup, to getting moving. All right, so I am going to buy from the faith deck. I have 2 faith, 2 currency. I'm going to buy this one, Galatians. I like being able to add missionaries because the solo, that message die, will take away missionaries every once in a while, so it's nice to have a card to help me get them back. All right, next round. So I have drawn my 4 cards. I have drawn my unexpected gift. If I play this, and I will play this, in solo, you would draw the top 2 cards of the deck and either apply them both or keep them both to help buff up your mature phase. So really, really good card. I totally love this thing. All right, so let's see what the trial deck has to offer me. So impose rules, 1 fellowship stop. That's not great. And also I could not play chains this round. I don't have a chain, so that's not a problem. So let me go ahead and stick a fellowship stop over there. That's going to eat people, so I don't want that. So I am going to play that. And I think, let's see. I really like having the 2 left over that way, but I think movement is going to be at a premium here. So I'm going to play that for the movement and have 3 faith for the mature phase. But this unexpected gift lets me pull 2 cards from the deck. Whoa, beautiful. Oh, I love that. So this is the Phoebe card. The Phoebe card lets me get rid of that get rid of that fellowship stop. Perfect. And whenever I would add a missionary, I would just, and I don't have one in the supply, I would just add a church member. So that's basically have the effect of adding an extra church member, which is perfect as well. Wait a minute. Let me roll that die. 2, lose 1 missionary anywhere. Wow. So I lost the missionary, but I gained him from this play. I was totally supposed to do this die roll. That I'm going to try to be good about that. In your games, try to be good about remembering the message die. So the message die took effect beforehand, made me lose a missionary, but playing this because of unexpected gift, let me give it back. Fantastic. All right, getting rid of that fellowship stop. Once again, at the end of the round, this would eat my church members once per turn. That's really bad. I really don't want that. But I do get 3 moves. So I am going to spread out. So I'm going to go 1, bring that church over here. That is to a boat. I do not need to preach on a boat, but it does take some move to be there. So I'm going to go place this guy right there, this church right there. Actually, we're just going to use that 1 missionary over here. So they are now on the Isle of Crete. That is 2 of my moves. And then I am going to leave a apostle and a missionary here just in case, just to create a little bit of a buffer. And I am going to move to Antioch right there. So I have spread out and I am looking pretty good. So then I'm going to grow over here. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. All right, so I have 3 left. This is really tempting to get that move card going. However, next round, I'm going to draw the John card, which is called, and I'm probably going to call that Andrew card, which adds followers. So removing that, I want to be able to replace it with something. Going to replace it with this, which will add more church members. Fantastic. All right, so it is the next round. But before I do that, I wanted to show you that I set up here, over here in the staff region. So then I now have missionaries, a missionary and or an apostle in 3 different areas. I have one in blue, I have one in orange, and I still have one in green. So then the staff would move. So any trial would be applied to orange, which happens to be where my main apostle is, but that will move from round to round. Now, get to stretch that stuff out a little bit. All right, so those are my 4 cards. I forgot that I had drawn extra cards due to that divine favor, so John has nothing to call from the discard. Oh well, womp womp. I tried. All right, Caesar cult enforced. Down, the church is halved, and the apostles have to move. Oh baby, trial deck, you are not my friend. All right, so according to the staff, that trial is here. So then I would lose half rounded up. So then I would just lose those 2 members, and the apostle, only the apostle would move, and the apostle is going to move to Colossae and leave these 2 guys right there. Or women. I should specify that in the early church, the missionaries were men and women and all sorts of folks. It was the apostles, the 12, that were men. All right, final step. Let's see what that mission die is going to do to me. A 4 again. Place a grow stop in the region where I am. Oh boy, that is not great. So I can't add people there. All right, so now since John has nothing to call, I am going to just not use him and not use that one. I am actually going to tuck these 2 away. So movement will be valuable, but I'm a little bit too split up because of that last savagery, so I'm not quite as equipped to move around as I want to be. So let's go ahead and tuck these away. All right, so I do have some options for movement. Remember, I can freely move folks, so that good thing I left one of those behind. That's going to get moved over here, and I'm going to start finishing my round of Palestine. So then I'm going to bring those to Damascus, and I'm going to get some growth going here down in Crete. Believe me, Isle of Crete, you might be there for a while. Damascus and Antioch right there. Comfortable putting away that extra move because I saw an extra move in the discard pile. I like this change from the base game. The base game, once again, these were all face down. Now I could plan a little bit better, and I could get rid of this and get rid of the extra move and replace it with another card. So I'll be able to at least have that shored up and make progress towards my ultimate collection of the Bible goal. All right, as you can see, I have my scriptures collected there. And I'm able to pull some really strong cards, especially this add 2 and the big card right there. So that's very nice. All right, what do I get for a trial? More losses. Pagan mob, no! So that one actually spun over this way. So I should probably specify that. Oh no! Now they're going to hit my island of Crete. That is no good. But that's actually okay because there is no apostle piece here. Remember, it specifies apostles on the card, so I just lose 1 piece. My a little bit of a road bump here in Crete, but it will grow unabated right now. All right, first things first. Let's go ahead and play Unexpected Gift. Well, this one's expected, so I can play that if I want to, and I would go ahead and shuffle up my very thin discard. Definitely keeping a good eye on that and get the John card. The John card is useless. So I can apply these both right now, which there's nothing to call for John, and I can also add a missionary, both of which are not very great, so I'm going to keep them. And they're going to help me in my mature phase. That's good because I would like to play this one, which is the household saved. So apparently it is a spousal unit that I have saved over there. So I'm going to add 2 to the apostles space. All right, so this growth stop, it specifically stops growth. It does not stop adding church members. Growth is a separate step that happens after all the movement. So it only stops that growth. So that's very cool. So this area is not going to grow for me unless I move out of it. All right, so what I think I'm going to do is that because I have a growth stop over there, I think I'm going to send one of my church members over there so that I have the 4 that I need, so that I can move 3 of them there. But again, the growth stops don't matter as long as it's kind of on solitary churches, and that gives me a whole bunch of different places that I'm growing now. Oh yeah, spreading the word. Oh, and this one, Damascus, is really getting up there in population. All right, new round. Managed to not get any of my cool cards in my hand. Oh, well. All right, so let's go ahead and draw from the trial deck. Aha, there we go. Compromise. Elder only, I get a chain in my hand. Lose 3 church members from each player's location with a chain in hand. Oh. Boy, that's no good. The church that is affected is now in Palestine. So that church that was growing in Damascus unfortunately lost 3 members. They are still at 3, so they're going to grow, but it's just what happens. And I get a nasty chain in hand. Lose up to 4 church members at the player's location. That's very specific to me. For every 2 church members you can't lose, place 1 fellowship stop. All right, let's add some insult to injury by whirling this message die. No! No! Are you kidding me? I am getting rid of that. As soon as I get him. Oh, look at that. And I got an unexpected gift. Oh, that could not have been better. I had no camera tricks, people. That was my first attempt at that particular roll. So, you know what? That happens. Praise be to God. All right. So, I am going to play that because I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. And I'm going to see 2 cards. Ooh. Oh, yes. I need people, and I'm going to apply these effects. So that is 3 people, and they will just go on my space, and boy, that is really, really helpful. And then I am going to, yeah, sure. What else do I, oh yeah, move. Now that I have plenty of people, I can apply the move, and then I'll have 3 to purchase for the next time. Or do I want to, I could focus on a little bit of growth, rely on the, or I could put that away. Oh man, I have so many choices. You know what? I'm just going to go with what I had originally. I'm going to get the extra move, get out of dodge for some people, and then have 3 left over for the market. All right, remember, I have that extra move. So I am going to bring my newfound gaggle of followers. Come! Be carried off by the Spirit. So I am have them go to Ephesus and Laodicea and Troas. So let us just go straight to Philippi, which is on the Greek side of things. I still have a very lively church over there, so I was able to move all that. Woohoo! Fantastic. And Crete is still being not colonized. I shouldn't say that. That's later. The church colonized later. This was a beautiful time for the church. And they're going ahead and grow over there. Antioch is going to continue to grow, and Damascus has to recover because they got hit hard. Yeah, they got hit hard by the trial card, so they have to spend a little bit of time building back up again. But that's okay; they have the time. All right, so I used all of my good cards, so I had 3 cards left. They were all worth 1, so they have 3. I think just for diversity's sake, and I don't have a way to remove growth stops. This might get in my way, so I am going to just get that in there to kind of cover my bases in case I need to do it. Next round, I have not been great at rotating this, so we're just going to assume that it is at, actually I should probably add a zone, which is red, and let's go ahead and assume that the zone is in red right now. Just to, reset, following along at home, this should be rotating once every round, so I apologize if I missed a couple of those. All right, so I drew my cards. I drew the card that lets me draw other cards. That's great. And some other stuff. Poor John. Not getting a chance to call too much. Well, actually, first I get the trial card, and I get a mission stop where I am. Not too terrible. And I'll go ahead and put that mission stop right there. And let's see what the die gives me. A 5. A 5 is place fellowship stop in staff region. So then the staff region is also red, and a fellowship stop is this. No, boy, I don't like that. All right, so let us start playing. So John's definitely not getting played, and neither is this. Ooh, should I? Yes, I think I have to play this mission stop. Yeah, so the mission stop removal. But first of all, let me see if I draw let's see what I draw. So then all players draw 2 faith cards into their hand from their draw pile. Let's see what I draw. not too much that's useful. So then the next card I'm going to play will be the mission stop removal. The reason I want to get rid of that mission stop removal is because I want to get going. Woo! Get me out of here. This is not great for me because I have this darn thing right there. Right now I'm okay because the church would grow and then it would lose a member. So right now it's in stasis. So I think there's not much that I can do about that right this second. So, all right. So for my 2 moves, I'm actually going to finally move off of Crete. 1, 2, off to Cyrene in northern Africa. Get things spread out even more. So then that church is mighty. This would add 1, but then it would lose 1 because of the fellowship. Finally, Antioch is ready to make a move, and I'm still rebuilding in Damascus. All right, here I am at the market, and hopefully I draw this pretty soon. So that's Thessalonians, but it removes that stop right there. That's cool. And I do have 6 because of the extra draw. So I have carried off by the Spirit. Move the Elder's Pawn to any city in the region or any church on the board. All right, so I've drawn my 4 cards, including my awesome card that draws more and lets me play stuff. Some Bible cards and some stop removal if I really need it. And I drew this, which will remove my fellowship, which is, please. The staff moved, so I no longer have a missionary or apostle in the green area, which is the Grecian islands. I have moved them to northern Egypt, so that's where the staff moves, right there. All right, so trial cards. So the trial's happening in Egypt. I have 1 -1 of a guy, or a follower, I should say, church member, and a growth stop. So that's a nice basic card. That's pretty easy. But the growth stop is annoying. So I'm going to want to try to, get a growth stop going. So this is very important because this means that it's in my region, the active apostles region. So I could not play this to get rid of the growth stop in Egypt. I would have to do something about that, which I think I can. So let's see what happens. First of all, go ahead and roll this die. 7. What is 7? Place a missionary from the supply to any church. Yeah! If none in supply, move the missionary 2 from any church. Oh, that's great. However, I'm actually happy with the current placement of my missionary, so I'm going to leave it as is. I don't have to do anything with it. All right, so let's go ahead and play my unexpected gift. 2 cards. Yeah! Yeah! Oh boy, I got 2 of my both 4 faith cards. That's going to happen mid-game. I was going to clump together and get some powerful combos. So I can keep these for 8 faith, but that would really clog my deck. There's so many good cards, but there's only so many ways to kind of churn through. And I think I haven't done a lot of calling at all. So let's just use them. All right, so then extreme measure of faith. All players draw 2 faith cards in their hand, and also move my guy anywhere on the board where there's a church. So then I can. Those are in my hand, so that is fine. Actually, I can apply them both. That's what that means. I can apply them both, or save them for a mature phase. Yeah, I'll save them for mature phase. That's not really that too much over there. And I'm actually going to use this one because with my carried by the Spirit, I am going to be whisked off to North Africa because that lets me remove this growth stop here. I can only remove it from the active apostle space, so no more growth stop. I can continue growing my church. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to have enough action economy to do this one, so it's just going to get eaten. But that's not the worst thing in the world. I want it, as long as I'm getting growth elsewhere on the board, which includes these 3 areas. Finally, I can get some of that stuff going. Oh, wait a minute. Before I did that, though, I have 2 moves. So I'm actually going to move 2 people over here to get that growing a little bit more. Spread the growth out. And then I'm going to move these Damascus church here to Nazareth. And then we are going to grow. All right, so I have 5. So that will allow me to continue making progress here. So another thing about the open market is that I could spend one faith to cycle. So then I already have Luke Acts in my tableau. So I'm going to just cycle that and see what else I get, which is Thessalonians. It gives me 4 left. And I'm going to definitely buy Timothy because I need Timothy. And this gets replaced immediately, and that is James, Hebrews, and Jude. I need that one too. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that. These 2 cards I already have. So they are also candidates to be kind of cycled through so I can get the requisite Bible cards. All right, so now I am back. I've rotated the Elder Staff back to the Palestine area. So any trial deck that comes out is going to affect over there. I have a John card, and I have some call candidates right here. So yeah, gonna make that happen. But first, see what I get. 2 growth stops. All right. So those growth stops can go either place, which is excellent. The growth stops are probably the easiest to deal with as long as you have available move and you put them at a church that has members in it. It's terrible when you don't have a growing church, but at least I do. All right, so let's go ahead and roll that message die. 2, lose 1 missionary anywhere. Oh, we got that hit with that last time or a previous time, and unfortunately going to have to just live with that, but I do have some resources to get him back or her back eventually. All right, so we are going to initiate that call, and we are going to add 2 peoples as long as I get that going, or do I want to put this away? You know what? Sure. I'm going to go ahead and put this away. So we are going to put Luke Acts into another scripture. Definitely want to do that. And I'm going to call 2 cards, so very much a setup. This card is going to go away, a starter card, as well as the Paul card. I have some backups, and I have lots of 4s, some 3s. Man, I'm hopeful that I'm going to have a very impactful end game by the time all this is done. So that leaves me 4 faith to spend, which is nice, but let me get back to the board. So I lost the missionary from here, Caesarea. So let's go ahead and get you another missionary. 1, we're going to drop a person off in Nazareth, going to drop a person off in Samaria, and then replace you in Caesarea, and hopefully we can get you more reinforcements over there. But for now, they're going to go over here, and they're eventually, when they're ready, going to go this way, and then North Africa is going to go that way. That is the plan. Eventually, I'm going to get somebody here too. Fortunately, I still have this fellowship stop here, which will stop them from growing. It's worse than a growth stop, but at least I have 4 people there, so it's going to add 1, then subtract 1. But in the rest of the areas, let's go ahead and grow that church. Spread the word and get ready for some massive movement, which is what I'm going to need towards the end game. And since I just called out some stop removal, I'm going to take this 4 faith card, restored body, remove 2 stops anywhere. Or this would be an effect that would happen in some of the scenarios. We're not playing those scenarios. We're just going to move 2 stops anywhere. All right, feeling really good about my deck after that 3-card call. I have plenty of Bible in the deck, but I got my 4 faith to remove some stops. Lots of stop removal this time. Next time we're going to fly through because I have my draw cards available to me. All right, but first, trial deck. Ooh, tolerate evil. All right, so I roll the die once. That is an 8. That's not a good 8. That's a bad 8. I add a chain to every apostle in the region. So that would apply to me. Even though the apostle for solo is in over there, chains always go to the person. Maybe I have that wrong, but that feels fair. Otherwise, the chain would never get in your hand. So that's fine. So I have a chain in my hand. Lose up to 4 church members in the location. For each member you can't lose, place a mission stop. Okay, so remember, in solo, I always have to play it or else it'll hit my mature phase and negate whatever I'm doing on my mature phase. And that would not be so bad, but I have to, it stays in my deck, which I don't want in my deck. Or I could just roll an 8. 3rd time's a charm. That's not an 8. It's a 5 Place a fellowship stop instead. Oh. Oh. Oh, well. All right. So that would be why I got this card. So let's definitely play that right there. Remove 2 stops anywhere. Move 2 stops anywhere. I'll remove both the fellowship stops that are hitting me right now. And you know what? I'm not going to mess around. I was going to add 2 members with one of these other cards, but I'm just going to play the chain event and just eat it and go on about my day. All right, so here I am. The good news is that I get to remove these fellowship stops finally. The bad news is that I lose 4 members of this church. I could absorb it. It definitely slows me down. It definitely makes me prioritize cards that get me more followers because I'm really losing followers at a huge rate. So I'm going to move my church over there, and I'm going to spread this church down here to Gaza. That clears out. This area is now utterly safe. Nothing can affect it. So I'm going to remove that from the board. And now I am only in Turkey and Northern Egypt for now. We'll see what happens. All right, so because I drew that chain, I have 3 cards for my buy phase, which gives me a total of 7. I'm actually going to buy these 2 cards. Like I said, I need population. Here's some population right there. So let's go ahead and replace those. And then with my last card, I am going to replace Thessalonians because I don't need Thessalonians for my scripture completion. James and Hebrews, sure. We'll find a place for you. All right, so next round, the Elder Staff is going to affect my region, which is Egypt. Hopefully, I can spread out a little bit. I got my awesome unexpected gift card. See what I get for trial. Another rolling and some stops. All right. So in my region, let's see, an 8. Oh man, I'm wasting my 8s. That would be growth stops. But the better one, the easier to manage one. In both churches in my region, that's not excellent because it means I have to move, I have to skedaddle, which is okay. That's fine. I have the moves to skedaddle, and both of the churches in Egypt have lots of people, so I can just move away from them with mission moves. That's fine. All right, so first of all, I'm milking this card. Unexpected gift. Let's make it happen. So let's see. Yes! All right, so what I can do is I can apply them both. And because they're both scriptures that I don't have, I'm going to tuck them both under the cards over here. So I don't have to use them for there. I can just tuck them in, and I'm making progress. That would be 5 out of 9 scripture books. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm feeling really good about the pace of my Bible putting away, but I'm going to keep on with the pedal to the metal. We're going to go ahead and put a Timothy away. So that was it, and I have 6 to spend in the mature phase. Here are the growth stops that I had to put down, but that is easy to conquer. So we got 1 and 2. So past the growth stops. And the rules specifically say that churches grow on the water. Sweet. So now we are going to add cubes all around, and I'm just feeling really much better about my game now because I mean the trial deck hasn't been so bad. It could be a lot worse. For my buy, which is 6. Going to get Divine Prophecy to be able to scry the Trials deck. And also, I need a Matthew and Mark to the New Testament. So I'm going to go ahead and buy that. All right. So a new round. This deck is nice and thin. It only takes me 3 draws to pull through all of it. I have some decent cards, including, poor John. He can't call himself. Let's see what I get from the Trial deck. Oh, baby. All right. I have Abandoned Teaching, a Fellowship Stop, and the Apostles' Move. So it actually cycled back to the orange. There is no apostle in orange. So it is just going to get one of these Fellowship Stops. All right, let's go ahead and roll that mission die. 5, remember 5 being bad. Fellowship Stop and Staff Region. Fellowship Stop. The same thing I just got. So 2 Fellowship Stops. What? Good thing I got that card that says, remove stops everywhere. So let's try to pull it. So for my first card, I'm going to play this one, the one that you could draw stuff into your dand. And get that going. And then unexpected gift. Oh, baby. So let's go ahead and use that. I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 more cards. Oh, yep, there's the one. Restored body, and I can scry the trial deck. Sure, why not? So I'm going to remove those fellowship stops as soon as they appeared, and I will scry the trial deck. So that's nice. Let's go ahead and scry the trial deck. So then I am going to get a chain, and I'm going to lose some people somewhere. So I'll go ahead and arrange those in just a moment off camera. All right, so I have decided how I'm going to set up that trial deck. Now I need to get a move on. So let's get out of the sea. Go to Syracuse right here, and let's go send a small missionary group to Philadelphia. So let's go ahead and keep growing. Oh man, I am set up to do some massive moves when I get the cards. Speaking of getting the cards, I have 10 to spend because of that chain of pulling. Definitely getting those 2 and hoping to pull them frequently with my thinned out deck. So that was 6. I have 4 to spend. I only need 1 more in my deck, and that is the Book of John. So we're just going to get rid of these for 4, 3, 2. Come on, John. There it is. So that I spent 3 on here. I only have 1 left, so I can't buy that, but I will buy that next time. So that's the last book that I need. All right, so I pulled some cards. So not the best hand in the world, but because I know what's coming, what's coming is this card. I might as well just get it right now. Lose a person and then get some stops. This is going to be the counter to that, or was going to be. But then I noticed that the Elder Staff is actually here in Egypt. I am not in Egypt. My character is not in Egypt. All the cards, unless they say so, are relevant to the character or something, like in the region. And my apostle is not in that region. Oh, well, we'll see what we can do about that. But first, we need to get that die going. A 1. No, 1s are bad. Oh, Lord. Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and rotate and apply the this to this region, which is right there in the southern Turkey, Antioch region. So that same thing applies again. Boy, that is... Ugh. And I get a chain. That balances that 8 that I got before. That's why I don't feel so bad for getting that. If prayed, lose up to 4 church members at the prayer's location and add a mission stop. Ugh. I was feeling good, and now not feeling good. So anymore. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually not going to play it this time. So I think I probably bought too many cards anyway. So -4 to my faith is not devastating at all. So I'm just going to play it, or not play it. I'm going to keep it in my hand, and it's going to give me -4. Whatevs. This doesn't do Hill of Beans for me because I can't use it. So I am going to tuck away Matthew and Mark, and I am going to get 2 people at my area. All right, so here are my 2 people for this growing church, at least. Cannot move them, and they won't grow. Cannot move them, they won't grow. They'll grow. They're leaderless, but they'll grow anyway. So I'm going to end up moving with the only piece that I can move, which is here. And then I'm going to go ahead and move back into Egypt, which removes blue from the area of Solo. And so now I'm in only 2 areas once again. Good news with that -4 is that I still have 3 left over, and I'm able to buy my final Bible card. All right, so I have drawn my 4 cards. Fresh new shuffle. So I got my add people, and I have a book to add. 2 more to go. I have 7 out of 9, and I'm in the region, and the staff is in the proper region, so I can get rid of the stops that are on my church in Alexandria. All right, so let's see what the trial does to me. I knew this. It is going to persecute me. It's going to reduce my one church by half, and then the largest church, well, it's going to reduce one, the largest church, it specifies. And then we are going to scatter, leaving one. That is actually not terrible at all, because that applies to the church in Alexandria. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is going to lose 3. And it is going to move out to the sea. Get out! Good, I don't want you. So I could move out of there with the mission stop, but Alexandria authorities could certainly kick me out, which is perfectly fine, and I'm still have enough to grow. Oh, we just escaped persecution. Those stones really hurt if they'd hurt us. Faith in Lord. We are keeping on going. I am going to call that card, put that down there, and I don't need to get rid of the stops anymore. Actually, you know what? No, I'm not going to do that. This is what I'm going to do. This is cool. So I'm going to use both of these. My apostle is going to be carried off by the Spirit. Woo-hoo! Go there and apply the effects of removing the growth and the mission stop over here. Nice. So that is some nice, clearing and repositioning of the board right there. And I have 2 moves. So let us begin to get into Armenia. So this way, and I'm going to send y'all down there. Okay. I'll let you grow by 1 more. And then I am going to move this group over here to Crete. So then they're going to have position to be over there, and I'm going to try to mess with the geometry of stuff. I'm really in the end game, people, so I have to be really careful. All right, so we are going to grow some church, and eventually we're going to get over here. Eventually. So then we'll see what happens with that. All right, so I have 5 to my mature phase. So I am actually going to cycle this for 1 because I really don't like the options out here at all. This is normally a great card, but I already have too many people gathering cards. And here, healed by shadow for every church. More people. I do not need more people at all. So let's go ahead and cycle this out. Let's see if I get more movement. I did not get more movement. So I'm going to forego my turn and just cycle those through to see if I get more movement. No, that is perfectly fine. All right, we're going to try to speed these along a little bit. I have drawn my 4 cards, and I know that I'm going to get the chain next. So I am going to pull my trial card. Another chain. That's fine. This time the chain is to add a mission stop. But, I'm not going to... At this point, I don't think I'm going to bother, interrupting my game. And I don't need the faith. So I'm just going to basically ignore it. And then I'm going to play this, which is Unexpected Gift, which... Let's see what I got. I got the chain and remove 2 stops anywhere. Who cares? They cancel each other out, basically. So it's like -4 faith, 4 faith. So we're going to ignore that too. But that would be... -4 to the rest of the cards that I have in my hand, so I won't have a buy phase, which I'm fine with. All right, we are going to skedaddle. We are going to play these move cards as often as I possibly can. Spam, spam, spam. All right, so let's go to Cyprus, and let's go to Ephesus for 2 moves. So we're going to grow there and head down here, and then I'm going to send you to Sardis for 3. And then, actually, let's move you over here. And then I'm going to go to there for another one. And then, beautiful. Okay, so we are going to continue to grow. Now I feel a little bit better. Let's get a move on, people. This has been the local train to salvation. Let's get some express train, baby. Jesus, take the wheel. All right, new round. Drew a bunch of cards that I don't like, especially my starter cards. But I did draw my more cards to my Dan card. I like that one. All right, so let's go ahead and get hit with the trial, which is going to hit me in Northern Africa. Mission team split. Boo. And so I am going to lose my empire in Carthage. It's still going to grow. but I did lose a bunch of members there, and there was a mission stop there. That's okay. As long as it grows, it's fine. I got plenty of use for that. So then I'm going to play this, and I know what these 2 cards are because they're the last 2 cards. And I am going to beef up my people, my personages, one more time. Hopefully next round, next time through the deck, I'll be able to use both of those move cards super effectively. But before I do that, let me not forget, I have a 7. I saw that 7. The 7 is place missionary from supply into any church. Woohoo! All right, that is going to come in super handy. Look at that. I'm almost showing you the whole map, everybody. I got that missionary that I lost a little while ago, and that's where they're going to be. Someone promoted right over there. Beautiful. All right, so let me go ahead and apply the effects of that over here, and they are going to go 1 to Pergamum, and then 1 to I don't know. We'll figure that out. But we are almost finished with Armenia, which is great. And then so we're going to get growth over here and growth over here. All the places where I want to. I am almost set to really move into Greece and Rome. Yes! Just like in this time of the church, Rome is our destination. All right, so I have 9 to spend, which means I can be really picky. I know there are some better cards for me here in the Faith deck, so I'm just going to pull through. I'm going to spend 1 down to 8. This is Divine Pruning. Ooh, a call card, and this is a call card that can get rid of all of my starter cards. Definitely buying that. All right, so I'm down to 4. Let's see if I can buy this one. Perform miracles +2 for each of these. So this is a really good force multiplier. Sure, why not? I'll buy that. I mean, I know why not, because I might not need it. But I like this card anyway. All right, another Carried Off by the Spirit. I have one of those already. I'm actually really excited. It's coming down to the nitty gritty. I only have 5 cards left in the trial deck, and I have pulled some strong cards. This is the extra draw card. This is my pruning card. Fantastic. I got that one nice and early. All right. I also have the move, but man, this is some strong competition. Let's see what the trial deck gives me. Imprison. So that my apostle can't move, but I don't think I need my apostle to move. So that is good thing. Yeah, so I'm okay with that. All right, so gonna have to roll this die. A 3 is place a mission stop in staff region with the apostle. So the I should have rotated this. This was in yellow, and there is a mission stop with the apostle in yellow. Ooh, wow! So I'm gonna put that in Philadelphia, where they weren't gonna go anywhere anyway. Nice. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna draw. Actually, do I need to draw 2 cards? I don't think I need to draw 2 cards. I think I'm just gonna use that for the faith. But first, I'm gonna do some culling. I can remove 4 cards from my deck or discard, and I'm going to remove my last 2 starter cards. Bye, John. You were so good. And these 2 add people. I think they've outlived their usefulness at this point, especially because once I get this going, then whoosh, off to the moon. All right, so that is my deck has returned. So I'm going to use that pruning card, and I'm going to use this one. Drawing would be okay, but the pruning was awesome. And this draw might uncover a chain, because I have 2 of them in the deck right now. So we're just going to go with that. Remember that my apostle is locked in a cage, and the my apostle I have in Carthage has the mission stop. So we are going to just focus down here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, and just move everybody. We are going to just sweep down there. Do I need you? Do I need you out of what is that? Thyatria. Oh man, I'm sorry to any Armenian who does not like my pronunciation, but yeah, you're gonna stay there wherever you are, and then you are gonna move down there next turn, and it's gonna be glorious. Now I'm gonna use my 8 faith that I have left over to mill this and get a card that I'm looking for. So I don't need that. This will remove all growth stops. Please, we don't need that. We'll spend 2 and more people, which is I'm culling people. So I don't know if that's the right move, but I don't need that. This one, prevent the removal of people. Boy, am I culling. So then fellowship. This might be interesting. So I would be able to remove fellowship stops, but fellowship stops are pretty nasty. So I might just pick this one up because I have 4 left. I could keep on cycling, but that's okay. I don't know if I'm even going to get to that, but I will pick that up. And this one is this one allows me to sock away books easier, but I think I have the last 2 books and I'm going to be socking them away very, very soon. All right, so I have rotated to yellow now. I am in prison for 2 more turns. At least my apostles, my missionaries are fine. So, all right, let's go ahead and pull that. I was expecting that because we're getting very short in a trial deck. 3 times in the region, remove people. All right, this apostle had made it. So we are going to kill this. Well, might as well kill the missionary. Why not? And then 2 more. So I don't have quite the mighty army that I want with this group, but I think it is mighty enough. That's fine. Let's go ahead and roll this message die. It is an 8. Yes! Beautiful. So I have nothing. Well, I wish I had the chain in my hand now. Maybe the chain is next. No, it's not next, but I do draw the top card, and it's not 2 missionaries. So maybe I will use that, but maybe not. All right. So let us. No, I actually will not use it. So let's definitely use that, and let's definitely use the Divine Gift. Those would be the 2 cards that I'm going to use. Let's pull 2. One of them will be a chain. All right. So. Whew. All right, so this is a chain. This is lose up to 4 church members. The church is the player's location. That's yellow pawn. If you can't place a mission stop, he's not going anywhere. It's actually not terrible. So I'm probably just going to apply that so that I can put away John. And actually put it under, and that will give me 8 out of my 9 books. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that. So that's what that looks like. I'm going to remove this church member, and for each one I could not remove, I'm going to add a mission stop, which would be ordinarily a very terrible thing, but no missions. I'm already in prison. You're messing with the guy in prison. Go, my peoples, while I'm distracting them. Go conquer the land for Christianity. All right, let's make this happen. Let's go 1, 2. Yeah! All right. The Philippi has been so good, waiting for guidance from the Spirit, and it has asketh, and you shall deliver. So let's go ahead and move just 2 over here because we are going to move a whole bunch this way. Actually, let's move a nice size right there. All right. So we are going to grow the church down in Carthage, and also these 2 churches. Go forth and proselytize. Do have 11 faith, and I do have a card that I am looking to get. Do not need carry letters, so then that is okay, and that's the card I want. Iron sharpens iron. All players discard some chains. So I think that is going to be it for me. Actually, let me go ahead. That was 5 spent out of 11. So then let me go ahead and mill for another movement card, because that is the premium right now. Nope. Yes. So I'm going to go ahead and get that movement card, and then hopefully that will take me to the promised land. All right, so I am at the end of my deck. I reshuffled for a new hand. So then I got my remove some stops and remove more stops, and those are never getting played. I can already tell you right now. But I do have these 2. The chain I'm probably going to play. Actually, you know what? I don't have to play the chain. I'm probably just going to keep it around just so it doesn't mess with my board. But let's see what happens. A chain. Parade effect of all chains in all players' hands now. What? Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, because the chain is in the red right now, and I misread the rule before. I'll probably make a note that it does affect in the staff region. Oh! Oh! All right. So then lose 4 members of the church. So it does. This is unavoidable, people. I have to do this. I have to remove 8 members of the church. No, no, no. Oh, that is so painful. Wow, boy, did this game find a way to just kick me right in the nuts. It was doing so good. I can't believe it. Sorry, people think I'm like my playthrough is a little bit longer because I'm so emotive. There you go, emotion out of the wazoo. I do, however, have some good news. So this I am not gonna play, and I don't need to play them, so it's fine. And I don't need to play either of these two either. I'm going to just for the heck of it. But this is the key one. I'm going to play this one, and this is my last book of the Bible. I have all 9 books. When you discover the Word of God, all stops are renewed, all paths are open. Go forth and try with your diminished church to reach as far as you can. All right, well, there's that one, and then there is that one right there. Not quite as mighty a march as I thought it was, but at least I had the church to absorb it. So I'm going to add 2 over here. And my saving grace over here is I've been building up this one. They were locked with mission stop before, no longer mission stop. I just need enough move to get these 2 missionaries to these 3 cities. Let's see if I can do it. We are down to last 2 trial cards. I have 3 more cities left to visit with my Christianity. And I am now affected the North Africa. Let's go ahead and draw my 4 cards. Got the movement I needed, but I also got a chain. And I got, some good and bad. All right, let's see. Trial card. No. 2 chains. No. No. All right. I mean, I don't think that really affects me. It's just, what a bummer to just be weighed down by these chains. First of all, I don't think I'm going to play them. I think I could just safely discard them. So let's go ahead and play my unexpected gift one more time. Let's see what I get. All right. I get my movement. That's great. And iron sharpens iron. Yes! Be free. Be free. Free. Born to be free. All chains in hand and discard are gone. Wow, I've never felt so free. Thank you, Jesus. Beautiful. All right. So I do get to apply this movement, and I'm going to apply this movement. Oh my gosh. It looks like I might have the win right there. I have 6 movement. We are going to go 1, 2, 3, end up at Brundisium to end, and that is all the cities. That was a super exciting finish to Commissioned. I had 1 little trial card left. Lots of turns, lots of twists, lots of forgetting of the message die. But I hope for the most part that you have a chance to, really absorb what the game's all about and what the call adds. The chains are nasty. You really feel them, but the game does give you ways to mitigate them, whether in multiplayer or solo. Multiplayer, you have that restore deck, which is much different feeling than the solo game. But I like the solo game because I like controlling one character and having the multiple options at the beginning. I do think that the deck building is still too reliant on whatever few call options you get. So I'm a little bit disappointed that the chain deck, at least for solo, multiplayer is a little bit different. But in solo, you're still kind of stuck looking for the culling cards. But for the most part, I think this is a very solid addition. I can definitely give this my approval for Commission the Call. If you like the base game, go ahead and check out the expansion, The Call. This is Jason reminding you that we will see you on the next stop, and Merry Christmas.